Welcome back to Real Talk with Ian and Kataya. Today our question is, what if my spouse has a secret? And there are two big reasons a lot of people have issues in their relationships. And two of the big reasons are infidelity and money. So today we are going to deal with the topic of money. And it's so important that we open up and communicate with these issues and secrets, because if not, it can end or destroy your relationship. Baby, what do you think about the whole idea of holding secrets or holding money or all that kind of things? What do you think?
This is a really touchy topic for me because there's so many reasons as to why a person can have money secrets. A bigger part of it would be the distrust factor, and so if someone is holding a secret, I think there's another thing that needs to be looked at, another dynamic. And the dynamic is trust. Does one spouse trust the other with how the spouse handles the money? Can one spouse be trusted with what you're doing with the money? And the other spouse may feel like, I can't trust you, so therefore I'm gonna keep my secret stash. Another issue is another spouse maybe having an alternate lifestyle, that they have another stash. So there's a lot of different ways we could go with that conversation. But I really want to focus in. Can we just focus in on the trust factor in terms of I don't trust my spouse to be able to handle the money issues. Therefore, I've got a secret stash. I think that's something we really need to look at.
Yeah, and I also think too, we can also look at it from the standpoint of selfishness, because it could be one of those things. If you got into the relationship and you used to having your own money, you used to be independent. Now I really don't want to share. I don't want to share my money with you. I want to have my own account. And as a result, instead of me sharing and we discussing the finances, it'll be easier for me to have my own personal account to the side. And when I want to go do something, I just go to my account, which can lead to more problems.
Well, on two fronts. One front is it's okay if you have your personal account, but it's not a secret.
Yeah.
So if you and your spouse discuss, hey, we want to keep some funds separate so that we can each do personal things and don't affect the family's finances. That's great and that's perfect. I encourage you guys to do that if that's what you want to do. But to have the separate account is where it becomes an issue where the other spouse does not know that those funds exist on a separate account, because it makes a statement that I don't trust you, I can't trust you. And sometimes people go into a relationship with baggages from previous relationships, and we've seen a lot of marriages today where marriages end just in horrible ways, and as a result the husband and the wife have to part ways, and then there's a struggle for the money.
Yeah.
And so there are legitimate reasons as to why people go in very apprehensive as to why we should combine and bring our monies together. But at the end of the day, what is marriage? The truth about marriage is not about us, it's really about Christ. And it's about honoring God in all that we do. And you want to make sure that how you're handling your money is really in such a way that it honors God. And to have that secret from your spouse, does that really bring glory to God? You really want to ask yourself that question. Does this really bring glory to God? And if I'm having a safety net because I don't think this marriage may last, or I'm not sure if this marriage is going to last, then I would really recommend you guys really sit down together and begin to iron out why that feeling is there, why that situation is there. Did something happen in the relationship that caused you all to think that? Or am I bringing baggage from previous relationships into the marriage that's causing that situation? And so this is something that you really want to create dialogue about and really discuss it. And the more you discuss these kinds of things, the more trust you develop between one another, because you're being open and you're being vulnerable with one another.
Yeah. Even to add to what he just said, even when it comes to the fear, because like you said, with the baggage from the previous relationship, if there's a fear, because in my last relationship I couldn't trust him, there was an issue, and so now I want to protect myself. Those kind of things you really want to talk about and discuss, because if not, then you're coming into a new relationship and he's wondering, like, why are you acting this way? Why are you being so selfish? Why are you not opening up to me, sharing with me? And as a result, now there's more friction, there's more problems, there's more arguments. And all you have to do is say, okay, this is what happened in my past, and this is how I feel about finances, or this is how I feel about the money I make. And those things you have to be open about and share. Because even when it comes to your finance, you have to be open, and you have to talk about it. Because if not, then it can lead to one problem after the next.
Yeah. You really want to create that dialogue. Like I said, that is so important. We don't realize how much communication is important to our marriage, to the trust we have between one another. And even communicating the fact that you don't have that trust, it creates clarity to one another. Because if I don't know where you are, then I don't know how to handle you. And if you don't know where I am, then you don't know how to handle me. So it's important to, even if you don't have that trust, and begin to share that with your spouse and share why you're struggling in that area with the trust factor, so that you guys can break down those walls. One of the things I've learned is that the more secrets we have, the greater the enemy works. The enemy loves to work in darkness, love to work in those places that are hidden. And it's always, we're always looking, he shows us the fruit. He always shows us the fruit. And because of the fruit, we become so fearful. But God wants us to take us to the root so that we can really see what's really behind this fruit that we're dealing with, and just get that situation resolved so that you and your spouse can have a really strong, successful marriage and healthy relationship that glorifies God.
So we're going to wrap up today's session. But one of the things I want to leave with you guys is make sure that you're openly communicate, be honest, because as soon as you start lying and trying to cover up things, the more the problems will come, the more the secrets will come out. And as a result, then you'll be divided. And you don't want to be divided and let finances come in and tear you guys apart. Don't let the finances be the reason that you separate. So if you have those issues, talk about it, communicate about it. And just and even if you have a question concerning some of those topics that we just got to talk about, just send it below and continue to share with what you learned with someone else, and subscribe and continue to let the questions come in. Until next time, we'll see you guys later.
Love you guys. Bye.